Hello and welcome to Get Decked, the video series where I make budget Magic the Gathering decks for your casual games night and to introduce friends and family members of the game. So in this video we're going to do the last of these Universes Beyond decks that I've been working through, and we're going back to Middle-earth and we're going to do Ride for Ruin, which is a white and red deck that's based all around the Rohirrim and the sort of like the human synergies that were in the set, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, really wanted to make a deck around based around that. So yeah, we'll get into that and see how I've done that. First, let's remind ourselves of the Get Decked rules. So these decks are 60 cards. They're designed for 1v1 games. No format restrictions, although we are going to stick to using just Lord of the Rings cards in this deck. Mostly commons and uncommons. No cards that cost more than $2 at time recording. Limit ourselves to 12 different non-land cards to have a good mix of variety and consistency. Strong themes, low to mid complexity, and casual doesn't mean weak or bad. So let's take a look at the deck list. 24 creatures, 9 sorceries, 3 instants, and 24 land. Mana curve off to the side there. Yeah, pretty straightforward creature heavy white red aggro deck, honestly. So yeah, let's get into it and talk about it. But first, just because we've got a few cards in the deck that have the ring tempts you mechanic, so I thought I'd just quickly go through this. So I have done a deck before, which was also actually based on the Lord of the Rings one, ages and ages ago when I started doing the Get Decked videos, which is a white black one, which was the ring on that, the ring tempts you, that was the main focus of the deck. But here there's just a few cards that do it. But I thought I'd quickly go over it. So whenever the ring tempts you, you get a emblem with it. You have to choose a ring bearer, and it gains these abilities from top to bottom, and it sort of gains new ones. So the first ability is the first time the ring tempts you, your ring bearer is legendary, can't be blocked by creatures of greater power. Then when it attacks, you draw a card and discard a card. Then when it becomes blocked by a creature, the creature's controller sacrifices it. And then the final, when you've been tempted for the fourth time, when the ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. And yeah, we've got all these other rules off to the side there. So I say it's not a focus of the deck, but there are a few cards that do it. So I thought I'd just bring it up, just in case you're not familiar with the Lord of the Rings set and the ring temptation mechanic. Anyway, let's talk about how we're winning. So as I said, kind of sacking with a bunch of like really good like white-red creatures and just having a bunch of human tribal synergies, honestly. So we've got 2 AMR of the Riddermark, 4 and a red for a 5/4 with haste. When he attacks, if you control a creature with the greatest power amongst creatures on the battlefield, you make a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So yeah, AMR is obviously pretty big himself, 5/4, so he might always end up being the creature with the greatest power on the battlefield. So yeah, pretty straightforward. He just, he's obviously having haste as well. It's quite nice, and yeah, occasionally pooping out a 1/1 token is not bad either. So yeah, I thought AMR was okay. Good sort of start to the deck. What I think is actually a little bit better is the Riders of Rohan. So 3 red and a white for a 4/4. When they enter the battlefield, you create 2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste. So 5 mana puts 8 pounds worth of stuff on the board, which is really nice. And like 2 of those can attack immediately. Which is quite good. The Rise also have this ability to dash them in, which is a mechanic that was used back in Khans of Tarkir. It was the Mardu mechanic. So dashes, you can pay its dash cost, which is 4 red and a white. So it comes in, it's got haste, so it can swing along with the tokens it makes. And then at the end of the turn, if it's still around, then it goes back to the hand. So then you can replay it, get this ability again, probably make more tokens. So yeah, really like Rise of Rohan. Really nice card, I think. I'm not sure. I guess you whatever. If you need to dash it, that's fine. Like if you need 8 power to immediately attack straight away, then absolutely do that. But yeah, really like Rise of Rohan. We've got 4 Rohirrim Lancer, 1 red mana for a 1/1 with Menace, and when it dies, the ring tempts you. So this is one of the few cards in the deck that actually have the ring tempt you mechanic. I think it's fine as a 1-drop, just a 1/1 with Menace. Early game, that's basically as good as unblockable, I think. So yeah, you can just start chipping in for some early damage. I think that's okay. We've got 3 Rally at the Hornburg, 1 red. You make 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, and then all your humans gain haste on a 10. So they can swing immediately, the tokens you make. Obviously, as well, if you've got other creatures that you've cast down, you play this in the same turn. Yeah, you can suddenly just do a big attack out of nowhere. So yeah, quite like Rally at the Hornburg. And then we're going to talk about what helps us win. So this is just going to be sort of like buffs and extra tribal effects and synergies. So we've got 3 Theoden, King of Rohan, 1 red and white for a 2/3. Whenever Theoden or another human enters the battlefield under your control, a creature gets double strike until end turn, which is really nice. Like pretty much every creature in the deck is a human. So yeah, if this starts going off, you're just giving multiple creatures double strike. Double strike is one of the strongest keywords you can give something. So yeah, being able to like dole it out without really too much effort is really strong, I think. So yeah, really like Theoden in here. We've got 3 Erkenbrad, Lord of Westfold. 3 in a red for a 3/3. Whenever he or another human enters the battlefield under control, all your creatures get +1/+0 10/10. So if you've got Erkenbrad and you do Rally at the Hornburg, get some humans down. Not only has everything got haste, you're also getting 2 humans down, which is giving everything +2/+0. If you've got Theoden down, you're then giving like 2 things double strike. So it can really get out of control, I think, with all these boosts and buffs you're getting from playing humans. So yeah, really like Erkenbrand as well. And then we've got 4 Errand Rider of Gondor, 2 and a white for a 3/2. When he enters the battlefield, you draw a card. If you don't then control a legendary creature, you have to put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. You have got quite a lot of legendary creatures in the deck, so I don't think it's actually too much of a drawback. But like, at the very least, he's 3 mana for a 3/2 that draws sort of like it's sort of like looting, isn't it, in a way? Because we haven't got really any ways of getting stuff back from the graveyard. So putting it on the bottom of your library is pretty much exactly the same as putting it in your graveyard, honestly. So yeah, I think Errand Rider of Gondor is okay. Is okay just as a bit of card draw. And then we've got 3 Quarrel's End, 2 in a red. Additional cost to cast it, you have to discard a card, and then you draw 2 cards and make a 1/1 white human soldier creature token, which then obviously like triggers Theoden, triggers Erkenbrand. So that's pretty good. Again, just sort of like standard red card draw effect here. But it's not really card draw because you're spending 2 cards just to gain 2 cards, but you are also getting the token out of it, so I suppose okay. And then 3 Now for Wrath, Now for Ruin. So 3 in a white, you put a +1/+1 counter on every creature you control. They all get vigilance until end turn, and then the ring tempts you. So yeah, like a nice board wide buff that makes everything like permanently stronger, and giving them all vigilance is nice as well. So you can swing, and obviously then you've still got stuff to block with next turn. And the ring tempts you as well, which can be really helpful because then obviously you can pick maybe like your biggest creature as your ring bearer, and then yeah, I think it's just a good board wide buff. Could not include it, like this, with a name like Now for Wrath, Now for Ruin. I think you are probably. I was going to say it's Theoden's speech at Pelennor Fields, but it's not. Now for Wrath, Now for Ruin is what he says at Helm's Deep, isn't it? Don't know. So many good speeches from Theoden. Anyway, now we're going to talk about what stops them winning. So this is just like sort of removal options. So we've got 3 Eowyn Fearless Knight, so 2 red and white for a 3/4 with haste, which is very nice stat line anyway. When Eowyn enters the battlefield, you exile a creature that an opponent controls that has greater power than her, which is nice. Just straight up, just kill a big creature. But then also legendary creatures you control get protection from every one of that creature's colors until end of turn. So you've got quite a few legendary creatures. Like you could have Eowyn down, and obviously Eomer, Theoden, and Erkenbrand, and then to give them protection from potentially your opponent's whole deck is quite nice because then they can just swing in unopposed. That's quite nice, I think. So yeah, really like Eowyn. Then we've got 3 Westfold Riders, 1 white for a 3/1. You can just sacrifice it to do a disenchant effect, but only as a sorcery, but it's fine. It being at sorcery speed is not terrible, I don't think. At the very least, he's 3/1 for 2 with it's absolutely fine. And then finally 3 Path to Exile, know it, love it. Single white mana just to exile any creature, and then you get a basic land. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather you have a basic land than the thing I just exiled for 1 white mana. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, I'm going to quickly talk about mana base. So then 4 Clifftop Retreats. So it ends the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain or plains, and taps give you red or white. So yeah, I thought this would be nice to put in here. And then 11 mountains and 9 plains. So there we go. That was the Rohan deck. I'm really looking forward to the War of the Rohirrim film that's coming out later this year. I'm really looking forward to that. So if you've got any thoughts about that one or the deck, stick a comment down below if you think there's any cards that could have been included, anything you'd change. I'd really like to know what you think about this deck, and also all the Universes Beyond decks we've had in this little mini series before we get into the Duskmoor ones. Like, have you enjoyed it? Do you think it was like a fun theme to do some decks around? Like, especially the Space Marine and the Fallout ones of like decommandifying a commander deck and into a sort of a constructed deck. It was quite a fun little experiment to do. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed it. But I say we will be back with more Get Decked, but we're going into the Duskmourn decks. So like I've done with Bloomburrow and Thunder Junction, we're going to do decks based around sort of like the 2 color archetypes. And yeah, hope you enjoy those. Hope you stick around to watch those. But until then, thanks for watching and listening, and have a great day.